Okay. Let's see. Get this right. There we go. All right. Let's make sure. All right, hey everybody. Making sure I got everything right here. This is Kramer again. You know, for the past few months with this whole COVID nonsense and the rioting and the violence and the Black Lives Matter and you're a racist and he's a racist and I'm a racist and all that. I made a couple videos and I was thinking I ain't going to do anymore. I pretty much did, what I need to do, but you just keep hearing this nonsense. You keep hearing the media's narrative, and I don't watch the news. I don't have television. I have my TV hooked up to the internet because I want to watch what I want to watch. The people that I have respect for, I want to watch them. And I want to hear the right narrative, the common sense narrative. I want to hear wisdom. Okay, and that's from blacks, whites, Asians, etc. Anybody out there listening to this right now, if you listen to it, I got 6 subscribers. I have almost 900 views since I started this in December. So I'm not a big YouTuber. I'm a tiny YouTuber. But people do get to see this. And if you're watching this and you watch the news and you let the news lead you around by the nose, well, this verse here tells all of us who's leading them around by the nose, okay? 1 Peter 5:8, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil as a roaring lion walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. All right? Every single politician, whether on the right, the conservatives, the Republicans, whether on the left, Democrats, whether they're independent, whether they're the Green Party, whether they're the communist, whether they're a libertarian, okay, if they're allowed to let themselves get carried away by, believing everybody's a racist, believing all the nonsense coming out about COVID, wear your mask, stay 6 feet apart, all that kind of nonsense. You go in a restaurant and you come up to the restaurant and you got to wear your mask. When you go in and you get seated, you have to wear your mask. When you're ordering, you got to wear your mask. But when you eat, you don't need to wear your mask. But after you're done, you got to put it on. Because COVID, knows when everybody's eating. So if you're eating and you don't have your mask on, COVID's like, whoa, that guy's eating. That other guy over there isn't, and he don't have a mask on. Let's attack him. That's quite the disease there. Stay home. Don't go to work. There's still businesses that are shut. They're probably going to lose everything. You got let's see. I heard of this. National parks are racist because the majority of people who go to national parks are white. Okay, now here's a picture of Lewis Mountain in Shenandoah Valley Park in the 1940s, where they had a Negro area. Yeah, during those times, in the southern states, yeah, they had segregation. It was wrong. Yeah, okay, you have a white water fountain and you have a black water fountain. Same water is coming out of both fountains, but you can't. Same looking fountain looks the same, but because you're black, you got to drink out of the stupidity of this. Okay, 1 Peter 5:8. Okay, the devil's devouring a lot of people, and they're allowing it. They're even salting themselves, they're peppering themselves, they're putting condiments on themselves and going, go ahead, eat me, take a bite out of me. Okay, nowadays, however, let's see what we got going on here. Okay, nowadays, however, we don't have that. And ABC News came out and started whining about, and I didn't see the video, I heard it, another guy had it on. I think I saw a little bit of it, but God, what a heart-wrenching tale of racism and bigotry and all that, just because more white people go to national parks than black people. Well, there are more white people out there that swim than black people, because for the majority of black people, the way I understand it, don't swim. They don't like it, I guess. I don't know. Well, I can't swim. So apparently swimming is racist. And they're bigots. They're racist because more white people swim. And it's bigotry and what do you call it? Discrimination against me because I can't swim. They're trying to make a fool out of me because I can't swim. Here you go. The country's 419 national park sites largely focus on white American stories, host predominantly white visitors, and are managed by one of the least diverse agencies in the federal government, the National Park Service. Well, if I'm correct, I think most of these parks and the land, the majority of maybe discoveries and like proclamations of this here will be a national park was by white people. It wasn't because, and yeah, were some of them racist? Were some of them discriminatory? Yes, they were. I was just watching something on Woodrow Wilson. He was a rabid racist. I think during his term, when he was president, that film A Birth of a Nation came out, which was completely bigotry and racism and all that. He hated black people. Okay, and that was during, I'm not sure I think that's during the time of Margaret Sanger and all them, and it was just as white. Okay, during that, the early 1900s into the 1920s, you had Prohibition, which led rise to the mafia becoming a dominant criminal organization. How did that come about? Why, the WASPs, the white Anglo-Saxon Protestants, who didn't like all these blacks and immigrants who came over here and were drinking and all that, and they didn't like that because they didn't do that. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you didn't do that. You did other shit, but you didn't do that. Well, them stupid morons with their racism and their bigotry and their discrimination started, actually helped the mafia become a giant octopus that tentacles were spread all across this country and other countries. And once again, I even see the devil behind that. I mean, all he don't care what color you are, what creed, what race, what nationality. He don't care. He hates all of us equally. The only one he loves is himself. He's blinded by that love. But, here it is. It's, and the federal government, well, the National Park Service, I don't know if any of you have ever seen Missing 411, David Paulides, his Can-Am project. That's the YouTube channel. Lots and lots of missing people in national parks. And if I'm correct, I have not yet heard of any black people, but it's predominantly white people that are just go among the missing in national parks. So, I'm looking at it this way, maybe black people are like, why do I want to go traipsing around the woods and getting bit by a bear, maybe attacked by a bear or go among the missing? I'm just going to stay right where I am. And he said, and this one guy, Jonathan Jarvis, who served as NPS director under President Obama from 2009 to 2017. He said, I'll be very blunt about it. I think there are some institutional racism issues with all the land management agencies. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure that if, say, I don't know how many blacks we really have. I don't know if they have a percentage. Okay. All right. Among the service leadership, the numbers, the service ethnic breakdown, 6%. Okay. Well, it says over 83% of the agency's more than 21,000 permanent and temporary employees are white, according to the data the service provided to E&E News, about 20 percentage points higher than the rest of the federal government. The service's ethnic breakdown has remained nearly the same over the last 5 years. 6% of the agency is black and about 5% Hispanic. Okay. Well, here's the thing. How about this? How about more white people are interested in going into nature and camping and all that stuff than black people? How about that? How about it's just that black people may not be interested in doing that, the majority of them. I don't hear the Hispanic community getting all bent out of shape and going, why aren't there more Hispanics working for that? Because, and I'll tell you this with Hispanics, and some people say, well, that's racist, because they are really into working on cars. And I kind of envy that about them. I'm not racist. I don't feel like I'm being discriminated against because of that, but it's something that if I had more time, I'd find out, I think, more about vehicles and try to do more of my own repairs. Right now, however, I can't do that. But okay, well, how about this? Maybe that's it. Maybe there are more, but they didn't pass the tests that they need to pass, or maybe they didn't work out that well doing their job. That ain't my fault. Okay? I guarantee you, 80% are white, or 83% are white. I think something like that. 83% of the agencies, more than 21,000, are white. Well, here's the thing. How many white people didn't make it? Either they didn't pass the tests, or they weren't doing their job right and they got fired. I mean, so it's not racism here. This darn narrative, this demonic narrative. You know, I mean, take a look at this. Okay, you probably saw this. Tucker Carlson, that man and his wife, the white California couple, they are facing hate crime charges. Okay, well, I love it, don't you? Huh? Man, I tell you, I love these websites. You know, especially when this here was right up about here, and then that one pops down. It was right here, and I don't know. I felt like I had a crawling under the. Okay, white California couple are facing hate crime charges for painting over a Black Lives Matter street mural. Praising them and Tucker Carlson was praising them for their bravery while they merely covered over graffiti. Exactly. Okay, de Blasio in New York was out there with his bunch of idiot friends and morons that, that support him, painting a Black Lives Matter mural in front of the Trump Tower. Graffiti. If I decide to go into some major city, say I decide to go Reading, Pennsylvania. I decide to go down Reading, Pennsylvania and paint I Love Vikings on the road. How long do you think it's going to take for me to get arrested and charged with vandalism? I don't think it's going to take too long. I think, one minute I go out there, somebody's going to go, what's up with this yahoo? Sir, what are you doing? I'm going to be painting I Love Vikings. Oh, no, you're not. You're going to turn around, you're going to place your hands behind your back so I can put these nice bracelets on you. David Nelson and Nicole Anderson. Now, I guess it wasn't I guess they're a boyfriend and girlfriend or whatever. Okay, a video. Last weekend, David Nelson and Nicole Anderson spread black paint over a yellow Black Lives Matter mural displayed on the street in front of the Martinez, California courthouse. After a video of an angry Anderson painting over the sign, which was approved by the city authorities. Now, theirs, I don't think, was approved by the city authorities. The sign was, because, of course, there are a bunch of left-wing socialist idiot morons who are being led around the nose, once again, by Satan. Okay? Good. Because these Black Lives Matter nonsense, it don't matter. It don't matter. They don't care about black lives. Okay, I think, when was it? Was it one day, was it last week or this week, that I think there were 30 shootings in New York City with 10 dead people. Okay, a little girl was shot dead. Chicago is just completely nuts all the time. That Chaz Chop nonsense, all I heard was black people dying. The first night when they were pulling down statues, a 600-pound statue fell on a black man. Black lives don't matter to these people. All that matters is the fact that we got Donald Trump as a president. Okay? I do like some of the things he's done. I think the man actually, I believe the man actually wants to do well by this country. He wants to do right by this country and get this country out of the crap that it was put into by all the presidents from, I'm going to say, Johnson. Yeah, who was that guy back in the 60s, after Kennedy? But anyway, Kennedy would have been a great president, because Kennedy also wanted to keep us out of a lot of the nonsense and try to get rid of that military industrial complex. And then you had that other moron, his vice president, which Lyndon B. Johnson. Yeah, Lyndon. What a twit. Lyndon B. Johnson. And then you had, Nixon. And then you had Ford. And then you had Carter. I mean, it just went. And then Reagan was okay. He tried to pull us up, but Trump is just going to the point where he's getting us out of who. He's trying to, get the wall built. Even though the wall into Mexico, it will keep illegal immigrants that are coming up here and trying they don't have any other agenda than I want to go into America and, live there free of charge and whatever because of what's going on in Mexico. And I don't blame them for wanting to get out of Mexico. Mexico's a total shithole. But here's the thing that I was listening to a Joe Rogan podcast, and there was a guy named Calderon on there talking about how the drug dealers don't have a problem with the wall because all they need to do is fly up to Canada and come across that border. So, the drug dealers have a plan, and the thing is, we don't have a war on drugs. There is no war on drugs. The CIA is the biggest drug dealer and drug runner and drug cartel in the world. But okay, Black Lives Matter, Antifa, controlled by the devil. Okay, they're fools. They're being eaten alive. And then you got I think this is in Georgia. Georgia, Stone Mountain. You got 1,000 members of the Black Militia. That's if this page comes up. Well, I tell you, the computer. Oh, here we go. And then this. Yeah. Armed Black Militia challenge white nationalists. Georgia's Stone Mountain Park. Yeah. 1,000 heavily armed militia, all of whom were black, marched through Georgia's Stone Mountain Park on Saturday, challenging white nationalist groups in the area to come out and fight or join them in demonstrating against the government. All right? And this here is special. I mean, they must have spent, I don't know, what do you think? The NFAC, that's their name, the Not Effing Around Coalition. How long do you think it took them to figure that out? Okay, well, no, we need a name for our group. Well, no, could we just call it the Black Militia? No, we need something that's going to make an impact. 2 weeks later, well, Not Effing Around Coalition. Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. Grandmaster J, okay, and that's another thing about these, the Not Effing Around Coalition, Grandmaster J. And here's the thing, this here is what I agree with some of these people. There was a number of black people that I saw on YouTube that call them the Black Ku Klux Klan, and the white Ku Klux Klan has, what is it, the Grand Dragon? These guys always have to have this Grand Master this. Well, I'm going to call him Blowhard J. Because that's what he is. He's a blowhard. Okay, these are 100% black people. They're not 99%, 98%, they're not 85%. And they're, okay, now one of the things that they say is they're not affiliated with Black Lives Matter. They're not protesters. We aren't demonstrators. Well, I disagree with them. You're coming out. You're challenging white nationalists to either fight you or join you. You gather around monuments, okay, of Confederate President Jefferson Davis and Southern Generals Robert E. Lee and Stonewall Jackson, you're demonstrating against racism. You're demonstrating and protesting the government. Oh no, we're not protesting or demonstrating at all. We don't come to sing, we don't come to chant, that's not what we do. No, you walk around challenging people who really don't care that you're challenging them. It'd be like you're over here on one side of maybe a park, and there's some guy way over there cursing and swearing and giving you the finger and, yeah, I'd kick your butt, and then he walks off. And you're going, and he ain't coming over your way, and you're going, yeah, whatever. You know, these people, and I saw a video where he said they're going to go take over Texas. Yeah. Yep, they're going to go into Texas, and they're going to take over Texas. Why? Why Texas? Because don't mess with Texas? Is that it? You know? Grandmaster Jay and these 1,000 heavily armed militia are being led around the nose by Satan. He's eating them too. Okay, we got another, let's go over here to Oklahoma. Boy, I tell you, this is just, the Supreme Court rules that about half of Oklahoma is Native American land. Well, you know, before the Native Americans had that land, other people were in that land. So the Native Americans had to take that land from those people. And there were Native Americans that took land from other Native Americans. You know, it's in man's nature that when he goes, you know, I really want that over there, to go, let's arm up and let's go over and take that. Okay? My ancestors, the Vikings, their land was starting to get too small. They were having all these conflicts and battles with each other, and they finally went, you know what? Let's stop fighting ourselves. Okay, we're darn good at building these ships that can just sail across an ocean in a few months, you know, instead of weeks, instead of years or whatever. So boom, they headed west because they heard tales of that England, and they went over there and they decided to fight and take whatever they could. We want land. Okay, some of us want to farm, some of us just want to keep fighting. You know, and way back, say thousands of years ago, who was the first settlers here? Okay? You look down in Mexico at the history of the Inca and the Mayan and the Aztecs. Well, they would go and take from each other. Okay, during the empires. The empires, whoever was strongest would go out and take from, you know, they take captives, they take land, they sacrifice these captives to their demonic god, who is Satan. There we are, back with Satan again. But here we go, you know, half Oklahoma is Native American land. Whether the land, these treaties, the court's decision hinged on the question of whether the Creek Reservation continued to exist after Oklahoma became a state. Well, here's the thing. I mean, who do we buy that land from? I know France owned some of that land in America. I know Spain did. I think Russia owns some, if that was up in Alaska or whatever, or California. I'm not sure about that. But today we are asked whether the land these treaties promised remains as an Indian reservation for purposes of federal criminal law. Because Congress has not said otherwise, we hold the government to its word, just as Neil Gorsuch wrote in the majority opinion. It's going to have consequences both for past and future criminal and civil cases. So eastern Oklahoma is going to have significant legal implications. Maybe some cases that should not be overturned are going to be overturned, and people that should not be free are going to be freed. And the thing is, with the Indian tribes on these reservations, there is so much, there's rape, there's alcohol and drug abuse. It's completely nuts. And another thing that kind of irritates me about the Indian people, and I'm going to say Indian because it's the word Indian comes from the word indigenous, okay, is there a propensity to build these darn casinos and try to rob their people that way. Their ancestors are rolling over in their graves. Okay, now I know, a lot of their graves, they had they had those where they laid them on platforms and stuff like that, but that's pathetic. Huh. Yeah, it's getting crazy. It's trying to destroy America, chopping it up in little pieces and saying this is our part and that's your part, and trying to it's going toward global governance where we're all one people on this great big globe, which is going to work into Satan. Like I said, he's going to devour him. Okay, he's going to get his new world order one day. God is going to allow it, and he's going to totally destroy everybody. There's going to be a group of people that are going to be out of it. That are going to have faith in God, and some are going to be killed. Others are going to be saved out of it. But the majority is done. The majority is going to take that mark, okay? And, I saw something yesterday. I'm not into numbers. I had a video against gematria and numerology. I don't go with it, but it's funny how corona, the word corona, there's 6 letters. And then when you do the numbers of like C is number 3 in the alphabet, etc. When you figure out what they all come to 66, so it's 666. I mean, but I already knew that whole thing was from the devil. When I first heard it, I didn't, but I started realizing, this is probably satanic because got to do this and we can't do that, and don't go around each other and stay home and don't open your business. It's okay. I know who's behind this. But this is it. We want to split America up. We want to tear it up, and we want to have all our own little tribes. Which is what it is, and that one day is going to be under the umbrella of the Antichrist, who will be possessed by Satan himself. So this is, pretty much what I wanted to say. It's really irritating. It's really irritating with all it's so much nonsense. There's no, it's the common sense. When I heard that this morning about national parks are now racist. Really? It's like I said about swimming. Okay, since I can't swim and you can, you're a bigot. Okay? The fact that you're swimming, even though you didn't realize that I couldn't swim, that makes you a bigot and you're discriminatory because you just jumped in that lake and you're swimming. That's how you feel about me? That is ridiculous. I don't care if you jump in that lake. I don't care that I can't swim. Just as long as I don't drown when I'm taking a shower, everything's okay. But that's pretty much what I wanted to say. I'm just going to say, people, for those of you that are just sitting there like me going, this is nuts. I'm not afraid of COVID. I'm not a racist. I don't care about your stupid narrative media. Good. Good. For those of you who are getting eaten alive by the devil, believing all the nonsense, get your head out of your butt. If you're a Christian, pray about it. Say, what do I need to believe? What do I need to fear here? Because it says we're not supposed to fear. So, that's all I have to say. Until next time, I'm sure the next shoe that drops is going to be just as stupid or more stupid than the last one. So, that's it. Until next time, this is Kramer Unstuck.